Oh yeah, the Universal Audio DLX Sphere mic, formerly known as the Townsend Labs L22 Sphere mic. Listen to this thing. Just listen. We're going to be doing a review on this baby. All that plus all kinds of nerdy stuff coming right up. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm Legolas Greenleaf. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of new content right when it drops. Cheers. Yeah, there's a windstorm happening out there. Half the city or more, the power's gone out, so we're going to attempt this anyway during the windstorm because why not? The Arctic Sea is angry today, my friends. The DLX. It's like other emulation microphones in the way that it's absolutely nothing like other emulation microphones. I mean, this is a different beast entirely. There are so many reasons for this, and I'll let you know those reasons soon. It's a lot to cover, so in an effort to attempt to keep this under 30 minutes, which I probably won't, I'm going to just get going. From now on, I'll be switching through every emulation that comes stock with this mic. You can see what mic emulation I'm currently using at the bottom of the screen over here, which right here. Yeah, that's where you'll see it. The DLX publicly started in the most humble way a product can these days, a crowdfunding campaign. Back in 2016, which was the arrival and the finest hours ago, Chris Townsend and Eric Papp and crew launched Townsend Labs with a clear goal and an entirely new way to emulate the most sought-after microphones on Earth. The Townsend Labs L22 Sphere mic was making waves. Chris Townsend, an expert in digital audio algorithm design, had spent 13 years working with Avid and led a team of 4 engineers who designed Pro Tools guitar modeling system 11. Among other professional notches, and there are a lot. Eric Papp, an entrepreneur, was the CEO of Summit Audio, which was acquired by Blue Microphones. Little factoid. He's been involved at high levels in many notable audio endeavors ever since, and before that. Chris and Eric both went on to found Townsend Labs in 2015, and that's when the magic behind the scenes started. The concept had never been done. And still to this day, it has no equal. A true emulation mic that listens in 360 degrees, which comes in handy when you want to emulate a plethora of mics. By 2016, Townsend Labs began crowdfunding to begin manufacturing. The crowdfunding campaign started with a modest goal of $40,000, but as the window closed, they had raised over $317,000. So that's 789% of their original $40K goal. Very impressive. By 2021, the biggest player in the music recording game acquired Townsend Labs and set forth rebranding the Townsend Labs L22 as the new Universal Audio DLX Sphere. So while I do have an original Townsend Labs L22 mic here, the rebranded name is the Universal Audio DLX. The mic is identical in every way except a pad switch change. Little one. Literally the same mic. Same capsule, same body materials, same electronics, different name. So, while I share a fond tip of the hat for Townsend Labs' invention, this mic is the DLX and that's what I'll be referring it to as from now on. But if a startup invented something that not only piqued the interest of Universal Audio, but motivated them to acquire it, you know it's got to be insane in the membrane good. So far, you've been hearing the DLX mic as I toggle through the many emulations that come with it. If you're on good studio monitors or wearing headphones, you should be able to hear the clear differences and some subtle ones between the mic emulations. It really is impressive. Let's have a look at it. What a beauty. What's really cool is that while this mic emulates many iconic mics, it is now becoming iconic itself. You're seeing it everywhere. The DLX ships with a shock mount, a special 5-pin to dual 3-pin XLR cable, and a standard mic stand mount. It also has this cool dust cover. It's a dust cover, not a carrying case. And it's really cool. The mic is massive and heavy. Very heavy. It might actually be dense enough to create its own gravity. It feels like quality. Very quality. The front of the mic has the logo. Here it says Townsend Labs, but the new logo is that of Universal Audio. The back has a pad switch which drops the mic sensitivity by either 10 or 20 decibels. The Universal Audio version has changed this to 1 minus 20 decibel switch, so that's the only change. It also has a calibration switch, which is only to be used when you run the mic through 2 outboard preamps that have continuous gain knobs as opposed to step gain, so it can listen to gain differences and calibrate for them, because both capsules need to be set to the precise exact same gain for the emulations to work as they should. 2 preamps? Curious. Inside the mic are little LED lights which light up when you've hit good sounding notes. That was a blatant lie. It lights up when you've properly switched on both phantom power channels. Did I say both? I said both. The DLX needs 2 simultaneous input channels to operate properly? Curiouser and curiouser. Here is the 5-pin to dual 3-pin XLR cable that comes with the mic. The length of the cable that comes with the Townsend Labs version is 10 feet. With the DLX version, you could get a whopping 25 feet. That's a huge length improvement. But it's not always about length. It's about quality. This is the shock mount that comes with the DLX. It's your basic elastic shock mount that you'd find included with many mics. Inside the mic are 2 high-end mic capsules, and I do mean high-end. These are premium capsules, the kind you expect to find in much higher-priced mics. Together, those 2 capsules record in 360 degrees, hence the sphere. This is essential for the emulations to be accurate and to change polar patterns. Some specs on the DLX that are good to know are: it has a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The output impedance is 200 ohms. It has a max sound pressure level of 140 decibels. The self-noise is 7 dBA. Just for comparison, quiet mics are generally below 15 dBA. A Sennheiser 416 is 13 dBA. A Neumann U87AI is 12 dBA. A Telefunken 251E is 9 dBA. The DLX is 7 dBA. It's incredibly quiet. At the time of this video, it ships with 38 different mic emulations at no further cost. It just comes stock. And then separate Apollo-only purchases will give you 12 additional mics with the Ocean Way collection and 9 additional mics with the Bill Putnam collection, for a total of 59 mic emulations so far. It weighs 1.7 pounds, not light at all. It measures, oh, hold on a sec, let me just find my trusty old measuring tape here. You know, this measuring tape was manufactured in, well, I don't know when it was made, but it was rediscovered along with the Stargate in 1928 during an archaeological dig in Egypt. I picked it up on planet Abydos in '94. It measures almost 9 inches long with a diameter of 2.5 inches. Here's what the mic looks like when turned on in low light. Really cool, eh? Also super handy to let you know that the mic is still receiving phantom power so that you can switch it off before you unplug it. Always turn off phantom power before unplugging any mic cable. Failing to do this can damage your mic. But now we've got a nice warning system. I'll allow it. To use the mic and the emulations, you need to plug the mic into 2 inputs on your interface. Yep, it takes 2 to tango. Then you need to link both channels together so that it becomes one stereo channel. This is because, as I said earlier, both capsules need to be listening in order to emulate a specific mic and their respective polar patterns, along with all the polar patterns. This is what separates the DLX from all other emulation microphones. That and actual top-shelf mic capsules. I'm not kidding. This thing sounds supreme, even just as a standalone mic. I think one of the city towers just fell over. Yeah. All right. I'd also like to tell you that the DLX can also be used as a stereo mic when used with the 180 plugin. We'll test that out too. You do not need to be in the Universal Audio ecosystem to use the DLX. The Sphere software will work in pretty much any DAW as an insert. But if you want to track with it going in, as opposed to choosing the emulation later, and or if you want the Ocean Way and the Bill Putnam mic collections, you need an Apollo. So I think you've heard just about every emulation that comes with the DLX on spoken word. I mean, listen to how good this sounds. What am I on right now? What is that? Oh, well, this sounds really good. How about some acoustic guitar? Get you in the mood. I'm going to play a little acoustic progression, and then we'll take it into the computer and play around with it. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're inside the computer here. What I've done is recorded a mono acoustic guitar with the Sphere, and you can see that right here on mono guitar, right here, this track. I'm in Luna right now, and what we're doing is just going to play what it sounds like straight and raw. So there's two tracks, left and right. Left is the front of the capsule, and right is the back capsule. And it's kind of listening to all of this. So now we're going to listen. So let's listen. Okay, so that's the raw Sphere. So what I've done over here is I've put Sphere in, so let's open it up and turn it on. And right away, what happens is it converts the stereo lopsided signal into mono, or actually dual mono to be exact. I've gone and selected the Bronner mic here, the BV one, which is really a VM one. But let's listen to it with the Bronner. See, that's not bad, and that's just one mic selection. So what we have here, now that we know that we're now getting an output from the Sphere plugin into dual mono, and this, of course, isn't in the Apollo. This is a plugin that you can put into basically any DAW, and you can load this up. And so what you do is you just load in your stereo track into your DAW. And that's what I did here, loaded it up. I actually recorded this in Logic, and then I imported it into Luna because I like working in Luna. It's really nice. So there it is, dual mono. And let's look at some mic selections. So here's your large diaphragm condenser selection. What I'll do is I'll play through and kind of play around. I'm going to go as quick as I can, so let's go. So you're getting the idea. You just kind of select the mic that you want, and then you go in. You can then also bring up your proximity, so you can get closer to the mic even if you weren't, and also change the axis, so you can, go 45 degrees, 90 degrees from the mic capsule, and you can decide where around the mic you want to go. You can also, your high-pass filters, and that would come in the mic. And they design these to mimic, I think, the actual filters that are on the actual mic, so they behave the same way. And then here you've got pattern selection. You can choose from omni, sub-omni, wide cardioid, or subcardioid, cardioid, supercardioid, hypercardioid, sub figure 8, and figure 8. And you can choose that. Now, the ones that are lit up are what the mic comes with naturally. You can naturally switch these to these. But when you select different mic models, see with the Bronner, all of them are lit up. So it doesn't mean you can't make it an Omni. It doesn't mean that you can't go here, because you can. It's just that it lights up to show what the mic came with. And then, of course, you got an isosphere, which is just an entire other technology. So if you're using like a reflection filter of these types, like the Aston Halo or the eyeball, or if you're or you have to isovox, or you're in a booth or a room, you can select it, and then you can decide how far away from the walls you are, and all that stuff. And then it listens and then corrects for the reflections you're getting. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, so that's that. So if I was to choose one here, I would have gone. I liked the Bronner on this. I like it. I just really like this one. So that's what I chose for this one. So now let's go into the Sphere 180. Over here, what I did was I put the mic sideways and recorded my acoustic guitar in stereo. And that's what it does. It's recording both left and right. It wasn't really balanced very well. I just kind of set it up real quick and kind of had it over the sound hole. I think the left went to more of the tail of the guitar, and then the right side went to the fretboard. So here, I'm just going to bring this up and turn it off for a second. You can hear a raw sphere with the stereo recording capture. So let's turn it on. So what I chose, I actually really like this dark sound on my crappy acoustic guitar. So I chose the 87, the Tracy Corby version, and then I chose the 47. And these are the ones that comes free with the Sphere software with the mic. And then I just kind of sat around and played with the panning until I got it equal or balanced. And then you can change out whatever mic you want. You could decide whatever you want. Or you can go here and choose a preset. Let's do this. This is the preset that comes with it. So that's a M49 and a 451. I mean, listen to this. I'll put back the one I like, the one I made. Okay, so what you can see here is that I've got it panned a little bit more left so I can bring up the left, because as you watch, you'll see the signal, the sound pressure that it shows. Like where is that sound coming from the most? Which side is the loudest? You can watch and see what happens here. You see how it's kind of louder on the right side? I didn't spend time balancing it or anything like that. I just plugged it in and did it. So that's that sound. And let's listen to it fingerpicked. I fingerpicked a bit just to see what it would sound like too. I just put on 2 Sony 800s. Let's go back to the dark one. I like that. And, I'd love to show you more of this. I mean, there's so much you can do with correction, axis, width, and there's so many intricate things. It would take forever to go through all this stuff, so I just can't. So instead, I'm just showing you what I did. So I've used an 87 Tracy Corby on the left, and on the right, I used a 47. It's got darkness that I really, really dig right now. And then what I did was I sang poorly. I'll just one take, into a U67. And so this is my voice singing into U67. And then I did harmonies. I did 3 sets of 2. So I did 6 harmonies altogether, but 3 of the same notes that I put in the left and the right ear. And I used Sony C800. What else did I use? TLM 103 for these. And then I routed them through some effects, LA2A here, and True Iron, which I absolutely love. This thing, if you have never seen True Iron, you gotta check it out by Kazrog. It's amazing. Anyway, I just routed it through that for some grit. And then, let's see, I'm going to put the guitar into a bus, which I have coming over here to this bus. And I've got it going out to Ocean Way. If you've never seen Ocean Way, oh man, this is another favorite of mine. And I got a little bit going out to Capitol Chambers. I don't know if you've seen Capitol Chambers. I'm just showing you what could be if you really got into the ecosystem. And let's throw a different view here. Actually, let's just restart it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so so here's my mixing view. And I got everything switched on. I've got Ocean Way switched on. So let's listen to this all together. And I just kind of whipped it together. But you can see all the plugins I've got right here. And here we go. Let's listen to this, what could be, right? And of course, the guitar is the Sphere 180. And yeah, let's go. This mic is better than all the mics I've tried before. Ooh, this mic is less expensive than the big ones, so why am I poor? Ooh, I found myself addicted to buying all the mics, for sure, for sure. But now I'm done, 'cause I think I found the one, for sure. I'll promise you it's the last one. I promise you. Well, I guess that guitar could have went up a bit, but anyway, that's what it could be, and that's what I did, just to throw in some stuff. I also threw an API 2500 compressor just in the master here, if you know what that is. So that's it. That's a quick overview. I don't know how quick that was, but it was enough to show you what could be and what you can do. And once again, I settled on the guitar, the stereo guitar here. I had settled on the 87 and the 47. So to hear it again. Anyway, let's go back to the video now that you saw how a little of this works. Just possibilities are endless. All right. How about comparisons? Okay, so this is the SM7B that you're hearing right now, right here. And now it's the SM7B on the DLX. So this is the sound of the SM7B, and this is the sound of the SM7B. Let's toggle through and see what we sound like. See if you can hear any difference. This is the emulation of the SM7B by Shure, and the emulation is done by the Universal Audio DLX. And this is what it sounds like. All right, let's check out a different mic. So now you're hearing the sound of the SM57 and the SM57. So this is the sound of the actual SM57, and this is the sound of the DLX version of the SM57. What do you think about this one? Yeah. Let's do a little bit of talking, okay? All right. And what do I want to say? I don't know. That this is the emulation of the SM57 on the DLX. How's that? Is that enough? Did you get enough? I'm asking you in post. You, the recordist guy. Right on. All right, moving on to the next mic that I actually have. Okay, so now we're listening to the Sennheiser 416 and the DLX version of the 416. So this is the Sennheiser 416, and this is the DLX version of the Sennheiser 416. This is the proximity effect of the 416, the real one, and this is the proximity effect of the DLX version of the 416. What do you think? What do they sound like? Switching back and forth now. Back and forth, back and forth. Here we go, switching back and forth. Fourth, 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 fourth. So, this is the 416 emulation. What do you guys think? I think it sounds pretty right on. Actually, I'm not hearing it right now because I haven't added the emulations yet. So, yeah, it should sound pretty good. Okay, so that's all the mics that I actually have that it has. I don't have any of those $50,000 mics. So, back to the video. All right. Well, I'm nowhere close to being rich enough to have all the microphones that the DLX has emulated, but I do have a few. I wish I had all the real mics to do a proper test, but alas, you'll have to go to Podcastage for that. I think he's got them all. Now it's time for analysis. It's my favorite mic of all time. It's my favorite because it's all the mics that are favorites of all time. Even with no emulation, the mic is amazeballs. It's not a flat mic, though, as some assume. They assume that it's just a flat mic and then they add the emulations. No. It's got its own bumps and dips and different character. In fact, it's got its own sound altogether, and I love it. Then add the emulations, and it becomes indispensable. Many large and well-known studios have opted to use the DLX in place of their nicer mics for kind of obvious reasons. It's easy. You can be mixing and decide, you know what, I want to switch mics out, but the performance is already done. It's amazing, and it works. It really does. It's that good. This is the last mic I will ever buy, says a mic addict to a room full of mic addicts.
The gas denial is strong with this one.
What?
You're in gear acquisition syndrome denial.
Right. Of course, that's true. Very, very true. But honestly, what else could I want? Until I see it, and I probably never will, this is the one for me. It's time I put my money towards a better camera. So the next step is getting money. How about some negs? Here's what I don't like about it. The shock mount and the cable. Both suck. Both are cheap. And I feel that both will fail sooner rather than later. They definitely put all the money and thought into the mic itself, and not so much the accessories that come with it. Not that I'm complaining, since many high-priced mics come with just the mic. The shock mount sags sometimes, even when you reef it tight. I can imagine after a year or so of use, this will be problematic. The cable is very cheaply made, and as you may know, I like good cables. Like the next audio person, of course. But the DLX takes a unique cable, not just a regular 3-pin. It's a 5-pin Y cable that goes out to a dual 3-pin, 2 of them. It's bound to fail, and the cheapness of materials may impact all the quality that this mic can deliver, the potential. It's like bottlenecked. Yeah, I am a cable snob after all. What's that?
You're a snob, period.
Anyway, I'm a cable snob.
Whatever.
But even still, I needed to tell you about these issues. However, I took the liberty of finding the best of the best for replacements for these 2 accessories that befit this Incrediballs mic, and I reached out to both companies. I received what's considered the best shock mount one can buy. It's called the Rycote Envision Studio. This guy right here. It's a universal shock mount, and it's solid. I mean, this thing's nice. Can you even focus on this? Am I getting light here? Hello? Here, you just won't. Let me do that, like they do on YouTube. There. Focus on that, YouTube camera. It won't. Anyway, this is it. It's really nice. So there's no elastic bands to sag, and it'll last a lifetime. It'll hold the mic wonderfully, both upside down and right side up, and can be used with many mics, not just this one. I really love this shock mount, and I recommend it fully. Just make sure to get the right size for the DLX. The exact name is the Rycote Envision Studio USM-VB, and the correct size is 55mm to 68mm. That's the size of this. They got little screw things here that you can screw in the mic and tighten it up. Oh, now you're going to focus. How lovely. This is the way. As for the replacement cable, oh man. Well, I reached out to many companies asking if they even make a 5-pin to dual XLR cable. Most didn't. One place in California did, and they seemed decent, but expensive for what they really were. But in my search for the best of the best, I mean the cream of the crop, the best, I came across a company that makes the greatest cables on Earth. Far, far better than Mogami Gold. Literally better, way, way better. Whole other league, extremely high end. The extreme of high ends. The highest end of the extremist, highest end of ends of the top. Like, right, like if that was the case, this is like Mogami right here, and then right at the top of the screen, like right at the top of your YouTube screen right there. That's like the bottom of this cable. It's like total, extreme, total high end, total best, total cleanest signal, 0 signal loss, built to last, built to look amazing, poshest materials, total top mic cable of all time, among other types of cables that they make, of course, not just this one. It's called the Vermöuth Second Born. I mean, look at this. They're affectionately called V2 cables by their many converted users. Look at this guy. Oh, man. V2 got back to me and sent me several cables, and I've got to say, I am floored. Floored. So impressed, in fact, that I'm making an entire other video about them because they deserve it. Period. Amazing people, handmade products. Handmade. Look at these things. You can't even see. Let's do a close-up. Look at these things. These things. These are cables. I mean, they're and they sound. So just so I'm clear here, the V2 Sphere cable is not just better, it's thousands of leagues better, even down to the way the V2 Sphere cable doesn't share the shielding between the channels. I'll do a whole other cable thing later, but I'm definitely never using any other cable now. I mean, I'm using the one that came with this for this review, but I'm never using that ever again. Do you hear me? Only V2 cables forever. Okay, this video is getting wicked long, and I'm not doing the high-end accessories justice here, so I'm going to do a companion video just for DLX users who want to pimp out their mics, where I can go into greater detail about the V2 cables, etc. In fact, I'm going to do one whole dedicated video about the V2 cables because they will change your life. For now, you can find V2 cables at www.v2cables.com. Seriously, check them out. More videos about them coming in the future. Oh, love it. All right, back to the mic. Aside from those two potential issues, which really are not deal breakers, the mic is immaculate. Just a seriously awesome mic. The best one I've ever reviewed on my channel. Whether you do music, voiceover, broadcasting, podcasting, ADR, Foley, YouTube videos, just not location sound because this is not conducive to that. This mic is an amazing mic that is the Swiss Army of mics. It by far beats every other emulation mic on earth. I'm not kidding. It's really, really that good. And it's better than many popular non-emulating mics. I mean, I'm not joking. If I explored every single setting and function and combo of this mic in this video, it would be an 8-hour-long video. So I just had to make this as quick as possible, but I have to tell you guys, man, this is really a good mic. It really is. And it's the last mic you'll ever need to buy, I think. And that's my take. That's my honest take. No one paid me to say any of this. I'm just that impressed, seriously. Universal Audio sent me this shirt and a couple of shirts, actually, and a toque. That's what I call the beanies, or some of you guys in the States call them toboggans or something. I don't know what you guys call it. You have weird words. Anyway, thanks very much, Universal Audio, for sending these shirts. They sent them to me because of my video on my Apollo video, but they don't know that I'm doing this here. Anyway, amazing mic. I had a chance to test out the DLX with old Blue Eyes during one of my time travel expeditions. He didn't care. Just as long as it embodied the soul of his precious U-47, he was happy. I told him it likely literally is his precious U-87 that was modeled for the Bill Putnam collection. And he just said, "You don't say." After which I just said, "Yes, I literally just said that." He was a cool cat. Anyway, you need this mic, but at what cost? You can get your very own Universal Audio DLX microphone by going to your favorite audio product dealer. They're everywhere. I mean, these mics are all over the world. And they're usually priced at around $1,500 US. Not cheap, but not nearly as expensive as the mics they so closely emulate. Think about it. One mic to rule them all. You have my complete honest recommendation, and you have my bow. Bye now. In transmission. You ending it? Good. Watch these ones. These ones are good to watch. Make sure you watch them. They are very nice. Yes, indeed. Goodbye.